Thank fuck it's Friday.
Whoop, whoop.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of everyone's favourite show, 40k After Dark, which is often ironically named 40k After Dark because often we don't talk much about 40k. In fact, tonight actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about 40k and Warhammer in itself, because just of an experience this week that I've had. So this week for us in this house, it's been pretty shit. Now, I'm not going to wash dirty laundry in public on stream. It's not your concern, chat. You don't have to worry about it. But we've had a pretty terrible week on the whole. Mm-hmm. It's been one of the worst weeks for a while.
I think from last Friday to this Friday, the boys, they witnessed a woman sort of getting knocked off her bike.
We're not gonna talk about what's gone on.
Okay.
But it's been a shit week.
Okay. Feels kind of like dangling a carrot though, babe, I'll be honest. It's
no.
like when people say on Facebook, oh, shit week, don't want to talk about it.
Well, no,
why put it fucking on there then?
Because that's not the point, if you let me get to it.
Right, hurry up.
So this week's been a pretty terrible week for us this week. But what's been interesting is obviously we streamed on Tuesday night with Joe with New World Eaters. We streamed on Wednesday night about the new book. We streamed last night with World Eaters again. And then tomorrow and Sunday, I'm at Beachhead in Bournemouth for a 40k tournament. And what's become kind of obvious, not obvious is kind of the wrong word, but what's become kind of apparent, I guess, over the course of this week, is that 40k really gives you something to look forward to. Like, really gives you something to look forward to. Now, I guess that's not actually locked to 40k. So if you are a gamer of some sort, I've put Warhammer in the title. Actually, Warhammer is probably not the right word necessarily.
Hobby?
Perhaps just hobby. And I guess that could really could be any kind of hobby, right? So it could be tennis or knitting or, I don't know, any kind of hobby for that matter. But actually, it's made me realise just how important a hobby is. I'm lucky currently that the hobby is my job, but it's made me realise just how important that hobby is. Because when I'm stood there playing with Brom on Tuesday, playing with Joe on Thursday, it's just fun. I'm just enjoying it, playing 40k.
Love you both. Keep smiling.
It's loud, isn't it? It's louder than I thought. Thank you, Dave. You're a hero. And so, this weekend I get to go away for a weekend, roll dice. I get to see some people that I haven't actually seen for a number of years, which is really good. Like, that's really nice. So I've just come to sort of realise that this hobby is something that really can, keep me going and keep me sane, which is just incredible. So I've put the title up, Warhammer is good for your health, and I actually think about some of our life experiences over the course of the last decade. So Luce and I now, in fact, in 2 months' time, we'll be celebrating 14 years of marriage.
No, darling. 12.
12 years of marriage. 14,
Jesus.
16 years of being together.
You do know our children's birthdays,
I'm
don't you?
fucking tired after the last few days. Honestly, I probably don't know their birthdays. But we're celebrating 12 years. Where did I get 14 from? Where did I get? Oh, because 2013 is James's birthday year, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, right. 12 years of marriage. Thank you for correcting me.
That sounded like a question, babe. Should be a statement.
It's not at the moment. After this week, everything's a question. 12 years of marriage. I look back at some of the shittier moments we've had. Because let's face it, right? Everybody has shit moments in life. Everybody has them. We all have trials and tribulations and issues and problems. And actually, if I look back at all the...
Smile. It's always worst for someone else.
It is. You're right, Talk. Thank you.
Very true.
And if I look back at all those kind of sort of shitty moments, from a little bit shit to super shit moments, thank you for the hearts, Chris, as always, I kind of realised actually over the last few days that Warhammer for me is the thing that I always comfortably fall back on as a, I guess like a coping mechanism. Whether that's escapism, because I disappear into an audiobook, or I sit here and just worry about my little army that I'm building and the next list I'm going to run. Whether it's just a kind of therapy process where I'm building and it's a fixed process and I have a task to do and I know how that task works or whatever. I just find that it's always a thing I turn to that allows me to escape a little bit from what is everyday life, disappear into a fantasy world. Often if I'd come home from a stressful job or stressful day at work, I could sit there building, and then once I'd built for a few minutes, that's when I would start to talk, and I'd talk to Luce about my day and what was a bit shit. And I wonder often if I would have done that if I didn't have that little cathartic process to go through and that little kind of stress relief, that kind of process that lets you sit there and go, I have this task. I don't really have to think about it too much, but I do have to think about it enough that it can take your mind off other things, and it kind of just allows you to stress release.
You need from time to time to have a black eye to know exactly how good things actually are. But that woman got knocked off her bike because she had a mosquito on her.
That's shocking, Kai.
We saw a mosquito yesterday. One came right at me, dive bombed right at me. They can smell me from a distance.
I
feel
feel like Luce might have missed a joke.
No, I'm just letting you know there are mosquitoes coming after me. They're hunting me down.
So I mean, it's not a long topic for 40k After Dark. It's a pretty short topic. I've come to the conclusion that 40k is very good for your health on the whole. There is some exceptions, of course. Like if you have this absolute desperate need to be a super competitive player and you're just not a competitive player, it's probably going to get you down when you keep losing. And there's plenty of people that I've seen over my time playing the hobby that have rage quit the hobby because they keep losing or whatever. And I've seen people I've actually seen people get close to table flipping. They've got so angry playing games. Maybe not good for their health on the whole.
I just can't see it happening.
What? People getting so angry they nearly table flipped?
It's Warhammer. Whenever I've seen the GTs or people playing, it seems to be fairly chill. There's maybe a couple of snacks on the go. There's a few water bottles. There's chat because the movement phase takes time. I wouldn't ever think somebody was getting so irate that they could flip a table of Warhammer.
I have seen people get so angry they shake whilst they're playing. So
I just can't see it. But then I've heard of divorces happening because of Monopoly.
Yeah.
So I know bad things can happen from board games.
I feel like if divorces happen because of Monopoly, there was probably something else going on.
Yeah, probably.
To be fair.
Who are we to judge?
Yeah.
We've not played for a while.
Perhaps Monopoly's just masking the issues, in fact.
Or maybe Cluedo is actually market research.
They're learning how they get away with it.
Yeah.
No one suspects the man in the dressing room. Right. But yeah, so I've come to this, like after a pretty shit week, I've thoroughly enjoyed the evening games with Joe and Brom. I've enjoyed streaming to you beautiful people and talking in the WhatsApp chat for OnlyThanes, and I've dropped into Discord a couple of times. You're all amazing people. I'm looking forward to Beachhead this weekend and some games of 40k against some people I probably wouldn't normally see, or wouldn't normally play, I should say. So I just like lean into your hobby, whatever that might be. It might not necessarily be Warhammer, it might not be 40k, but lean into your hobby. Make sure you lean in. The other thing as well, importantly, lean into your hobby. So if your hobby is painting or converting or playing or competing or reading the novels, don't let anybody else tell you that the way you should be doing your hobby is this way.
Happy anniversary, Liam and Luce. Hope you get some gropes and butt cups when Luce gets up for the loo. Brilliant World Eater game streams this last week. I have 2,000 points coming. So excited.
Our anniversary for like 2 months, people.
Chill, you have never seen me play LOL.
Well, Will's super gamey. Really try hard.
Is he?
Yeah.
Would he flip a table?
Really try. Yeah, he's definitely a table flipper.
You table flipper.
I like the fact that Rambo's in chat as well right now, whilst she's in labour.
No!
I fucking love you, Rambo.
No, you were supposed to be at her every whim right now.
You're my hero, man. You're my hero.
Unless she's asked you to get out, then I suppose.
Which is possible, yeah. Which is possible. Got some shout outs to do whilst we wait for the next super chat to come through. Big shout out Carl of Hodgie, who gifted 5 memberships before the stream started. Don't worry, I caught them on my tracker, you legend. Good. Thank you, Nordos, for gifting another one. Thank you, Tim, for gifting 5 more. And thank you, Tel, for choosing to become a member all by yourself. That's super important. That's super important to us. Thank you so much. You're a legend. I love you dearly. I had a few free months. Thought I might as well finally pay up. What a legend. What a legend. That's amazing. But yeah, so I think having a hobby in general is just important for your health. For me personally, it's Warhammer. But if you guys are ever struggling, make sure you've got something. Make sure you've got a hobby, something that you love, something you adore, something that you enjoy putting time into.
So think about it. You've had a shit week. Guess what? The mosquito had it worse. And he had a belly full of Gary Glitter's blood. That mosquito needs to play 40k.
Kai, have you already been drinking before we started tonight?
I need to read that one again.
Finally made a live stream. It's Friday, time for bourbon. Custodies.
Time for bourbon. Custodies, thanks, man. And your hero just gifted 5 memberships as well. What an absolute legend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
It's not 40k that is good for your health, but the creators that support mind and charities in my opinion. And say hi Paul of course, smiley face.
Bless you, Eston. Thank you. We try. We try. Although, you support Mind, you end up getting lots of letters from Mind asking for more support. Funny old thing.
Oh no, that wasn't a letter to say thank you for your donation. This is what
No,
it went towards. It was just more. Give us more.
I mean, it wasn't that.
Right.
It
okay.
wasn't. It was give us more, but it's not like thanks for your money, give us more money. It was worded in like your donations help loads and loads of people, and if you give more, like it was. Do you know what I mean?
So sort of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like I can't blame them, but you know, it's I guess part of what happens with charities if they find people that are generous, they probably hope those same people continue to be generous. I had this row with it. Right, let's go off on a tangent already. This is good fun.
Rantosaurus.
So I used to when I was in the forces and I had lots of disposable income before I got married and had children. I used to do lots of charitable donations. I think I had like 4 charities on the go at one point, right? Because I was like, I have loads of disposable income. People need help. One of which was a animal charity, and I can't remember which one it was in the UK. It might have been Dogs Trust, you know.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is. So if you know us, you'll know that we are a dog family. We like dogs. We have a dog. We're very dog friendly. And so I used to donate to Dogs Trust. And I can't remember what it was. It was like £5 a month, right? Because I'm like, you know what? If I can give a little to help, I'll give a little to help.
Did you guys ever get the Bob Ross painting show?
Did we get the Bob Ross painting show? I don't recognise the name.
What?
The Bob Ross painting show. Did we ever get the Bob Ross painting show?
I don't know what you're saying to
building
me
orcs
right
been
now.
told it's my style of army.
It is definitely. Lucy's looking at me with such a face, Randy, that we almost definitely didn't. I think is what I can.
The what? The Bob what?
Bob Ross painting show. Bob Ross is a person.
Very true. Sitting here building some Raven Wing and gonna try some Black Legion contrast. And that is my way of winding down, I guess.
Exactly. I think a lot of people need to put less pressure on their hobby. But if you don't put pressure on your hobby, it's just a chill.
Bob Ross, if you have light on light, you have nothing. If you have dark on dark, you basically have nothing. Just like in life. You've gotta have a little sadness once in a while so you know when the good times come. I'm waiting on the good times now.
It's true, though. It's sad, but it's true.
Custodies.
Wankered, says Guy. Good man. You keep that credit card
So
nearby.
who's Bob Ross?
I don't know.
Oh,
I have no idea. To be honest with you.
okay. I think I focused a bit too much on that.
Yeah.
I will admit 40k hasn't been good for my mental health and it's coming to the point of me thinking of leaving. These last 5 years have been hell on me.
Is that 40k they talk? Like, is that the reason? I can't imagine 40k is the reason it's been hell, but maybe there's a different hobby that you need to find as well to de-stress. Because if you go turn to 40k to de-stress as a hobby and you don't de-stress, then because you're getting worked up about something, whatever it might be, changing in codexes, rules, models, etc., then I would suggest you find a different hobby that is something. I don't care if it's bashing drums or learning to play tennis or cycling or jogging or whatever it might. I don't know, whatever it might be. Something that is actually a de-stress. Like, how much better do a lot of us feel if we just go for a long walk sometimes?
So I think people that run or jog are actually part of an evil cult. Because
why?
Because you have to spend lots of money.
Bob Ross, Joy of Painting, BBC 4.
Oh, apparently we did have it.
Oh.
That's going to be a Google later, isn't it?
Sorry, Umbra's just sent me Bob Ross. I'll see that in a moment, Umbra. Yeah, so people who run and jog are part of an evil cult.
Hands occupied whilst my mind wanders until my hand cramps, and the joyous moment when I finish is great for my mental health. Painting you bad people.
Oh, right, yeah. I was wondering when you said your hand cramps.
Because you have to spend a fair bit of money on decent trainers. And everyone who I do know who runs has always said, please, for the love of God, buy some decent trainers before you start running or jogging, because it's your feet. And then you have to run. You said you need to run for like 2 weeks before it starts to feel...
Probably longer. I reckon I have to run for 3 to 4 weeks before I start to really enjoy it again.
Why would
like
you
the
do
first
that?
3 to 4 weeks is just pain.
Why would you do that? Just sit down for half an hour. Like, while you jog, I'm just going to sit down instead. I'm going to rest. Rest is my hobby. You need to rest. None of us sleep enough anymore. So we need to rest. That's a hobby. Running, you must be part of an evil cult where they send you out to recruit new runners.
But my point remains, like, you need to do your hobby your way, whatever that is. And if your hobby isn't running, that's fine. Like, the amount of times I've been given unsolicited advice by people where you should do this, you should try this, you should do that. I think people need to very quickly realise, and this is true of not only our little community within the 40k sphere and the nuances between, for example, narrative and competitive, but it's true of the hobby sphere and it's true of life. You cannot apply the exact same set of rules to every person and every human. And the reason why you can't do that is because every human is wildly different. There is not a single pair of identical twins have different DNA. Identical twins are not actually truly identical, right?
Really?
Because they're not identical. Because otherwise they'd be exactly the same person, same everything. But they're not. They have their own mind. They have their own brain. They are different.
So their DNA is different?
Yes.
I'm Googling that. That's worth a goggle. Where's my mouse?
Just joined the chat after a game. After a tough week I had a game with my world eaters. Kill main burn is a good de-stress mechanism. I love them.
Thank you, Chris Joss, you're a hero. I also saw Talk did get back to me actually and said it's the community. Mostly the community's done its head in. See, one of the reasons why, that's an interesting thing that you say, Talk, genuinely, because one of the reasons why I pushed into having the Great Hall so hard, one of the reasons why pre-DZ back in the days of Warhammer, I built the Discord server. So I was the first one to build the Discord server out of me and Winters, and then he built the Winters Discord server, then we merged them into DZ, and then I built the Great Hall as well, right? The reason why I built the Discord server in the very, 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 very first instance, right back then, back in the Warhammer days, was because I'd had a similar kind of experience, Talk, with a shitty 40k community. Now, predominantly for me, my experience was on Facebook groups, essentially, right? Not always, but predominantly on Facebook groups. And I found that this, again, we can apply this to wider Facebook, right? The toxicity on Facebook is horrific. That's a generic statement that I will place on every group and everything, right? It doesn't matter whether you are in a group for your car manufacturer or for your hobby or for your or your football team or whatever it might be that you're in Facebook for. It doesn't matter. There is toxicity. I mean, again, we can widen this out even further, right? There's toxicity across the whole of the internet nowadays.
Love this game, hobby, and community. It has helped me through my depression and keeps me engaged with life. Now I am adding to my ever-growing collection with World Eaters. Love what you do. Custodes.
Thank you so much, Fates Daydreamer, you're a hero. So yeah, so you can apply this to the wider internet, right? The wider internet essentially is a toxic place. And actually, for all the good that Google and the internet, I say Google, I'm not blaming this on Google as a company, but Google is a search engine that most people use most of the time. For all the good that the internet does, it arguably does equal amounts of bad. Because I don't think we've ever been in a place as a species/society where bullying has actually been as prevalent as it is now. Now, back in the good old days, babe, if you wanted to be a bully, you had to do it. You had to have the courage and the balls to do it to someone's face, basically.
No, not now.
Right? We did back in the good old days, right? When we were kids, if I was getting bullied, I was getting bullied to my face. And I had a bully when I was a young kid. I grew freakishly fast to my height.
Strap in, chat. It's gonna get depressing.
It's not. This is genuine. But this is just a comparison. I grew freakishly fast to the height that I am now when I was a kid. So as a kid, I was a freakishly tall, skinny rate with horrible buck teeth and an overbite, right? I looked like I probably should have been put down as a kid. And so a bully who had been held back a year because he was thick decided, thank you, Austin, hero, he decided that I was the target for him. He probably had, and I do genuinely believe that most bullies, they have their own underlying issues and their own underlying problems, right? And he decided that I would be his target. I put up with it for a number of years. and parents were involved and head teachers were involved. And one day I just chinned the fucker. He was annoying me on the school field and I just flattened the prick. I'm not saying violence solves everything. I felt better and he stopped bullying me. But back in those days, you had to have the courage to do this thing face to face. And if someone was in the mood to give you a repercussion, you took that face to face as well. That's how bullying used to be. Nowadays, YouTube's comments can be one of the worst places in the world for this, right? Nowadays, you go onto YouTube comments and people have no repercussions. They just don't fear repercussions because they can tap away on their keyboard in their mum's basement, right? They can do that, tap, 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 and send a little angry message and be an arsehole, and they don't have to worry about what their comeuppance or their comeback. They don't have to worry about that at all, right? Facebook groups. There's a Games Workshop yesterday announced a price increase, okay? Percentage-based price increase, right? And there was people that was pissing and moaning all over Facebook because a company who sells products is putting their prices up. And there was other people that were coming out on Facebook and saying, well, I can understand why they've done it. Actually, they've done it below inflation. And then people just start rowing in the comments. And I'm like, you don't even know each other. What's either of you gaining from arguing on either of those points?
I wonder if it's the thing about we don't actually need to know. So, for example, we're in England. Do we need to know what's going on in Italy? Does it actually affect our day-to-day lives? What's going on? Does our tribal reach need to reach that far?
So mental health supposedly is at all-time highs globally. And some people attribute that to things like global economies, etc. There is, I can't remember who did it. There's a study out there. There's a theory out there that looks at humans' capacity for information. Essentially, right? We're going deep now, right?
So a twist on the who would you have to dinner from history. Which historical character would you want to play 40k with? In so Trump.
Which historical character would you want to play 40k with?
Ooh, who would I want to get in a row about Monopoly with?
For the battle reports, I still think my favourite of yours is back in Warhammer days against Mordy and John. Especially when you charge his red card.
Jesus Christ, Paul, that's an old one. We'll get to Kai's question. Amazing. But yeah, so there's this study out there. There's this theoretical paper or something. I'd have to Google it and find the details. But this theoretical paper basically looks at human capacity for information and essentially says that we have limited capacity for information, right? And so we basically are in a place where we cannot handle the amount of information that things like the internet and news channels, etc., give us on a daily basis.
No.
And the other thing is it's statistically proven, in fact, that essentially bad news travels further and faster, and therefore, for again news channels, for media, bad news ultimately means more views, more sales of papers, etc. So you tie those two things together, we're getting more news than we've ever had before, and arguably more news than we are mentally capable of handling, and the majority of it is bad. They wonder why everyone's down in the dumps all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But it's also you don't discuss the news with your peer group anymore. And the news you're getting is the news you're searching for, so it's not necessarily impartial anymore.
Papa says someone should tell Games Workshop co-op designers I have limited capacity for information.
Yeah.
We all do. That's the thing. And so the internet is a beautiful tool and it's wonderful, but all these people that are they're bickering with people that 40, 50 years ago they would have never spoken to before. They would never have had exposure. They would have never gone into a Warhammer group on Facebook that has 50,000 members and been exposed to 49,000 other people's opinions. They'd never been exposed to that. They would never need to argue with those people. So one of the reasons why I built the communities that I built, and one of the reasons why, if I'm completely honest with you, chat, one of the reasons why my Discord server is behind the lowest paywall that I can put on YouTube is because one of the things I was adamant on was we're going to keep the fuckers out. We're going to do our best to keep the fuckers out as much as we possibly can.
I may have fallen down a rabbit hole.
We'll get to your rabbit hole. So the reason why we do keep that little tier in is because if people really want to come into Discord and be an arsehole and try and troll, they're going to have at least to pay £2 for the privilege. And even then, when they do that, our moderators are under no illusion that they just remove them.
Today I've been to Derby and back, now driving to Beachhead. Had a twat in Derby tell me he was going to call his solicitor and set them on me. Told him that's okay, but it isn't going to stop you getting hit.
So you've had a bad day, James. But yes, so what was I saying? So yeah, that's why we built the community. That's why we started back in the Warhammer days. That's why I built it, because I've been in so many different toxic communities in 40k, and I was like, you know what I think sells better than content, better than battle reports. That is a safe community for people to hang out in, spend time in, talk to each other, share the hobby, share the experiences, build relationships, build friendships. And it's not hippie. People can disagree. That's fine. People can have alternate opinions.
Everyone is brave until they get punched in the throat.
It's true. Everyone could also have their own opinions as well. James, until they also get punched in the throat. No, but in the Discord server, everyone can have their opinions. That's fine. As long as they're put across in a relatively respectful way, that's perfectly okay. But I hate the toxicity. I hate the way things get so quickly now online. So communities, I feel like, if I go right back to Talk's point, I feel like you have to pick and choose carefully the communities that you do interact in. I'm in the 40k competitive community, the Warhammer 40k community on Facebook. I don't ever post in there. It's great for catching up on news and getting a general sense for people's feelings and opinions on stuff. And sometimes when I say it seems to be that people are upset about a hole in the bottom of the tank, it's because I've been watching it on these Facebook pages come through and watching people get super butthurt. But you also have to realise that some of these places are an echo chamber. Having said that, on the flip side, if you find the right community, I think that can be monumentally positive for your health. If you can find like-minded people that you can talk to every now and again, if you can find like-minded people that you can log on to and almost be 24/7 on call, should you just want to chat to someone, even if it's just about 40k. Conscious of the fact that not everyone in Discord is a counsellor, but if you're just going to log in there and go, I just want to talk about something that isn't life right now, and I want to talk about World Eaters, and I wonder who I can talk to in Discord, I feel that's monumentally positive. If you find the right community, that's really positive. Big shout out to Kieran, who's become a member all by himself. Plastic and Paint, you're a hero for upgrading your membership. You now get access to all of our members-only content. Legend. Easton has upgraded his membership. What a hero. And then gifted... No, he's and then he's gifted another membership. Yes, so just keep dropping the one gifts in here and there. Brilliant. Who would you play? So yours would be Monopoly because you don't play 40k. But if you could bring one history character back and play Monopoly against him, who would it be? Because Easton asked the question.
Yeah. And he does ask good questions.
He does ask good questions. But
Do
he's
you
also
know
drunk.
what? I reckon I'd go for Heath Ledger.
Ooh, that's out the blue.
I know, because he was taken way too soon. And his daughter now, she's grown up now. She's all grown up now.
I think it's a Jonathan Haidt study about capacity to make productive decisions. An average person makes 5 good decisions a day. The world right now interferes with the capacity to make good decisions.
Yes. Maybe it is that one, Kai. I'm glad it's not just me that's seen it. There's a couple, to be fair, there's more than one out there specifically. There's one that I remember reading, which is all about, like I said, capacity for information, essentially, and how that impacts you. So if I only knew how to work the Discord thing. Oh, Greybeard, it's actually, once you're in there, like Luce is a techno. I'm sure you don't mind me saying you're a technophobe on the whole. Mm-hmm. Luce is in Discord. She uses it.
Yeah, I can press the button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she can use it.
Do you want to hear about my rabbit hole yet?
I'm still trying to work out who I want to play from history.
Oh my god. Okay.
I don't know who I would want to play from history though. It's hard. I think I need to think about this a little bit more. I'd quite like, if we're just gonna flat go on someone I want to have a conversation with, I'd quite like to chat to Freddie Mercury.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want Freddie Mercury or the actor, what's his name? Rami. Oh, I've forgotten him. The guy who played Freddie Mercury. I don't know if I'd want actually Freddie Mercury or the guy who played him, just to talk about what was your process to turn into Freddie Mercury. Which is so weird, because why not just have Freddie Mercury? But I don't know.
There's the obvious Winston Churchill.
Everybody goes for his.
Yeah, that's why I started with the obvious Winston Churchill. You know, the guy who became Prime Minister and guided us through the Second World War as a country. And that would be interesting, genuinely. I think there's loads, to be fair. That's the problem, is there's loads.
Yeah, there is. There's loads.
That's the issue. There is so many people that you would... Malik. Somebody says, give you the name.
That's it, Rami Malek.
There's so many people. I think there's so many people. This is a tough question in general. So it'd be interesting playing 40k against someone like, specifically 40k against someone like Churchill was interesting because as a tactician, you want to know how he thinks.
Okay, so we'll narrow it down. Somebody who died within your lifetime.
Oh,
That's probably still too many. Somebody who
you know what I can
died-
say now? I can say the Queen.
No.
I mean,
She's
it's
been documented far too much. I think we all know what questions we'd ask.
Archimedes. That's a great one.
That he didn't die in your lifetime.
Rasputin. No. I think we're aware of that, Luce. Thanks.
You're not that old.
Wow.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Sometimes I
You're not
feel
great.
it. Sometimes I feel it. Oh, I got to add the extra gifted memberships as well, of which I think there's been 7 more since I last did my little update. Boop, boop.
Dave B says Robin Williams.
Yeah, I saw him say Robin Williams. That's a great
That'd
one.
be a good one, yeah.
Robin Williams is a great one.
Bid chat with Keith Richards easy seems super chill.
Oh, that doesn't seem like a terrible one. There's just so many. Like, there's just too many people that I'd like to ask questions to who are no longer on this planet.
Robbie Williams to play Monopoly with.
Robbie Williams? He's not dead.
Do you know what, actually? Can we choose someone who's still alive? Do they have to be dead?
I mean, the question did say dead, but yeah, okay. Where are we going?
Okay, I'd probably go for Monopoly with Jeff Bezos and be like, how will you make money off this? I'm going to write everything down.
Yeah. How are you still winning? I've been cheating as the banker.
Yeah, I've been cheating and you're still winning.
Sounds like a great one. I'm into that. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
we're going to go Jeff Bezos for Monopoly.
Yeah, 20 for you, 40
Just to learn
for
some
me.
investment tips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, you don't need to go to school. Just ask Jeff Bezos. He's done it.
There you go. Okay. There you go. Alan Rickman would be a good choice. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Ah, Alan Rickman.
John Pertwee. I don't know who that is, actually. I'm probably getting spat at now. 40k against Field Marshal Wellington. Brilliant. Brian Blessed. Is Brian Blessed dead, is he? Brian
Is
Blessed
he?
dead.
Oh, no, but then we said alive as well.
Oh, okay. So we switched it. Sean Locke. Done. Datsun Des has nailed it.
Carrot in a box.
Freddie Mercury would be good. Imagine Jesus rocked up with World Eaters and Angry Ron sending some mixed messages. Son, God, I'm wasted.
Stop super chatting. Just
God.
sit down and chill.
Can I put the super chat phone down?
You'd be gutted if you bring them back and they are like, I don't want to play this, you nerd.
I mean, they almost all would be like that, wouldn't they? To be fair.
Okay, if you got Sean Locke, would you play Warhammer or would you play Carrot in a box?
Carrot in a box repeatedly. I wouldn't stop playing Carrot in a box. Thank you, Rick Jagger, for gifting in the membership. Did you just wait till me update the numbers and then put another single gift in?
Do you want to hear about my rabbit hole yet?
Okay. I mean, that sounds ominous when we're all drinking. Go
Right,
on. Tell me
so
about your rabbit hole.
Your DNA, twins sharing DNA, there's a little bit of arguing going on. Some websites say no, they don't because they're 2 different people. But some people say because they're identical, yes, they do share DNA. And then I thought,
I mean,
about...
that isn't an argument. That's just science.
Well, this is what I'm saying. The internet, the spurious space,
This is where
is
Google's dangerous.
arguing with each other. So I'm really looking forward to now my Google search just throwing up twin stuff for the next 2 weeks. I'm really going to look forward to that.
Guaranteed. Fuck you, Paul. Thank you for
So-
the gifted membership.
And then I went down the rabbit hole of when identical twins have children, their children are cousins, but genetically speaking, they're as similar as half siblings.
I am torn between Sir Churchill, Lord Nelson, or Marshal Fogg. Fogg, especially if he is playing guard. Lord Nelson in Battlefleet Gothic. Sir Churchill to play Monopoly. Imagine how all 3 would fill those
I love the
rooms.
fact that Neil's really put time, effort, and thought into that. That's amazing.
And then identical twins live longer
Than each other.
than like siblings, identical twins. But they do that twin thing.
See, this is so. I'm jaded nowadays, right? Because I genuinely just don't trust Google anymore.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you beautiful people out there have ever watched The Social Dilemma on
Mother Teresa, but only if she played as sisters.
yes, I'm into that. That sounds amazing. If you've ever watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix, I've talked about it a few times in the past. I don't trust Google at all.
I feel really...
Phil the Greek, Imagine what he could tell.
Christopher Lee would be a good one as well, Pickle Nick, 100%. Everyone shares DNA. Humans have 99% the same DNA as apes. Yeah, but there's no way identical twins have identical DNA. Not a chance. Because they're different people.
The internet's arguing with itself, so who knows? But the whole not trusting the internet, I'm really sad that absolutely everything I do on the internet is being tracked and used as marketing to then be reflected back at me to try and trigger me to buy something that I didn't want to buy.
See,
I hate it.
I kind of love targeted ads. I'm aware that the internet is using and looking at my data and then selectively chucking things at me on screens, etc. I'm aware that that's doing that. So it's not like it's dangerous because I know it's doing it. I'm not like, oh, that seems like a really useful, handy... Like, I know that it's doing it. What it also means is, typically, I don't get shown shit that I just don't want.
Yeah, but then even when it's like... It's even things like I'll be having a cup of tea with a friend in the kitchen and then the Alexa in the kitchen will start showing stuff that we just talked about in the same room. I've never asked her, but it'll start coming up on the screen.
Care.
I hate it.
It doesn't bother me.
At first I loved it because I thought, brilliant, I don't even have to search for resources to do with autism and ADHD because it's all here for me to choose and that's half the stress gone. But then some of it is, I was just talking about chocolate mousse recipes to a friend and then there's a recipe there on the Alexa and I feel just a bit like, God, it's so suffocating and just, can the robots please have a day off? Can everything just have a day off so I can talk about chocolate mousse to my friend without being marketed and being, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like saying to my friend,
it.
take your cup of tea into the shed where there's no internet and then we can chat
I
about
get
your
it.
boyfriend.
I get it. I mean, I've seen people that have laptops that they put little bits of tape over the cameras at the front. And I'm like, I don't. I'm one of those people that just doesn't care. If MI5 or the CIA are dialing into my webcam to see what I'm doing, I don't care. I don't care. Doesn't bother me.
I just feel like it's a bit like
invasive.
It's more than that.
Betty White playing World Eaters. It would be fun to hear her talk about blood for the blood god and skulls.
That
for
would
the
be very
Skull
fun,
Throne.
Cheap Avenger. I love that. I love that one.
I think it feels more than that because statistically...
Alexa, remind me to feed my kids every 2 hours.
You cancel that alarm if she set it. You cancel that. Oh, Mandy.
8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Good.
Because you gobbed off them. I couldn't set your timer for tomorrow morning.
Yes, Alexa, shut up.
I was going to... Mandy, I was in for that. I was going to say 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. When I was at Bournemouth, every 2 hours, you'd have got a reminder about feed the kids. That would have been beautiful. That would have been beautiful.
It feels more than invasive because statistically, if we were to walk down the same patch of High Street with the clipboard people, I would be approached way more than you would because my age group target market and my gender is much easier to market for than yours
You say
is.
that's just because I look angry all the time.
Yeah, you do look angry all the time.
I never look angry.
Well, I can look angry all the time and I'll still get a clipboard person.
Go on then, look angry. What was that? I don't know if you're angry or passing wind. That's a genius face.
It's brewing.
I saw a great comment as well from Elliot Thompson. I think we all know everyone wants to play against Henry Cavill. After all, he is on every YouTube thumbnail. I mean, I think you'll find we haven't used him on a thumbnail yet.
Who's that?
Henry Cavill.
Poor guy.
I know.
He should have £1 for every time.
Cronus, thanks for gifting another membership. You're a hero. Puts us on 28 members for the night. Thank you so much. You are, sir, a legend. I love you. Identical twins, very largely the same to the point we can't measure the difference in their DNA. From what I've read, the difference largely comes from the person's bacterial biome. Now you're talking science and I'm drinking cider. So...
I'm interested. I'm sober. What did you say?
Most nights I'll be clever, but tonight's not one of those nights.
Right, hang on. Identical twins, very largely the same to the point we can't measure the differences in their DNA. From what I've read, the differences largely come from the person's bacterial biome. Oh, okay.
I have got to a point where I just want to drink cider tonight, people, and not necessarily have to be that clever, right?
So it's all on B team.
Ozzy says, "Oh, are we missing loose gurning?" I mean, yeah. It's not entirely untrue. Kronos, thank you for the gift. I think I probably got that already, but yeah. You're a hero. You're all hero. All you gifters are heroes. Just triggered my Alexis as Leaks Feeks. Good man. What are we drinking? Currently tonight, I'm on the finest Aspel's draft cider. It's very nice. I can drink it very, very easily. I typically drink more of it than I do the mead, which is a problem. So I've got to get up early tomorrow.
I can't drink cider.
Some people just have that RBF that makes you unapproachable.
Resting bitch face.
I know what that means.
Oh, you looked at me like, what's that?
Yeah, that's why I looked at you.
I can't drink the cider because the second it warms up, I can't drink
I
it.
think once a week we should have the government switch off the internet so we can all unplug. I just paid 50 quid for taxi driver to deliver me more booze. I'm twaited.
Oh.
Twaited? I love being twaited. That's a reasonable use. I have, in fact, had Deliveroo deliver rum to me at 2 o'clock in the morning on a bench outside a pub.
Yeah, that was a high moment for you.
It's a peak. That's peak career.
Have you ever been totally gazeboed though?
Utterly gazeboed?
Yeah.
Who was that? Michael McIntyre, wasn't it?
That was. He's so Lee Evans.
Thank you so much,
I
Yesten,
miss
for
Lee
also
Evans.
gifting. That's another one in the bag. Whoop, whoop, 29.
Actually, Monopoly with Lee Evans.
He's not dead.
No, but I said alive as well. We
Stop
can do
wishing
alive
people's
ones.
lives away.
Monopoly with Jeff Bezos, and Lee Evans, and Heath Ledger. Oh, that's a game night.
I think if you have Monopoly with Jeff Bezos, Lee Evans, and Heath Ledger, you're not actually going to get any tips out of Jeff Bezos, Luce.
I'm just going to write down. I'm just going to analyse him. Everything he moves and where he puts hotels, I'm writing it all down. Because people like that can't switch off. Everything is a business deal. I'm writing it all down.
How many hotels do we think Jeff Bezos actually has?
A bajillion.
We don't know that he's good at investing in hotels.
He knows where to put stuff.
What about?
He knows
Where's that come from?
Like e-commerce. Where do you store it? How do you handle it?
That-
He knows.
That's not about knowing where to put things.
That's it. He knows. He'll know where the cheapest
Where there's a
rent is
fucking cheap
on a
warehouse is what-
Yeah, exactly. So don't put a hotel there. Don't put a hotel on Mayfair. The rent's too high. Put it on this one here. What's that one? Old Kent Road. Put it there.
Jeff Bezos knows that fact of the night on 40k After Dark. Jeff Bezos, he knows where to put things.
Yeah.
That's the facts
That's
we've
it.
got out of this.
It's not who you know, and it's not even what you know. It's what you
bobbins.
find out.
The Bob is said, I wouldn't want to play Monopoly with a dead person. Well, then you might win. That's the key. I travelled to the UK somewhat recently and have gotten to experience the UK pubs. Spoons is dangerous with that app to order on. Well, I mean, since COVID, a lot of them have got apps to order now. Lucy likes men who know where to put stuff.
Yep, I'm not wasting my time with people who don't know. Nope.
Dad, stop grinning like that. That's creepy. That's creepy. That's creepy, that face. I don't even need to win, but killing in glorious melee combat always makes me feel better. Well, Wild Eaters of the Army for you. Love a bottle of Aspel, says Sloth. I love Aspels. Liam, do you keep getting the wrong...
Quote of the year, he knows where to put it, loose.
Yeah, basically is what you just said.
Do with that what you will.
Sometimes, chat, I just feel inadequate. You need to buy Warhammer 40k Monopoly for loose. I mean, there's a crossover. We'll get it on stream.
Ooh.
Warhammer 40k Monopoly stream.
How?
Actually, no,
how
you've
do
not seen Luce play Monopoly. She gets very competitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's worth it.
What would you call that game? 40Kopoly. 40Kopoly?
No, it's just Warhammer 40k Monopoly, Luce.
No, that's too long. No one will say it all. They'll all shorten it, so we need to shorten it first.
What do you mean no one will say it? They all say Warhammer 40k boarding actions.
Is loose implying Liam doesn't know where to put stuff?
Yes. Grace Jess is what she's saying.
That's a fantastic last name.
She likes to fucking Brom and Joe hate it.
Hang on. Margaritopoulos? Margarit...
You've basically got it there.
Did I?
You're close. I mean, Christos will tell us whether you were close enough.
Margaritopoulos.
What is everyone? See, this is
Is
another
that
thing
it?
that happens, right? Another thing that happens with this chap's name is every time someone says his surname, they go up an octave at the end. I don't know why.
Because it's.
They always go woos at the end. Like
you
someone's
have to-
like some sort of little whistle.
It's a bit like when you're cycling down a hill with a corner on the end. You gotta power out of it.
Yeah, but
You gotta power out of it.
why
Don't-
everyone's doing it with a fucking penny whistle whoop, at the end? Everyone. I don't know why they do that. Everyone does it. Poor old Christos. Thought this was sober. Well, who knows? Sober in terms of alcohol, yes, but not life, you know. I'm getting into World Eaters next edition when they come out with the next book, hopefully with Corn Demons and World Eaters in one book. I think you'll be waiting a very long time for that one, I'm afraid. Very close, almost perfect on the second time, he says. Let's see. I know how to put the things. Just the wife tends to disagree, says Puppers. Shocking. This could go dark fast, chat. Right, let's be careful.
Aussie Warmopoly. Oh, that's it.
Warmopoly.
Warmopoly.
That. It sounds like it should be something different.
Warmopoly.
Yeah.
It sounds like a chocolate pudding, kind of. Like, do you want some Warmopoly?
It's almost like something that you're going to do
Warm it
before.
up for you?
So it's something you're going to do before you do sports. Warmopoly, isn't it?
Monohammer.
This is just going to now be 20 minutes of shit 40k Monopoly names. Go. Best one will win a prize.
We've got Warmopoly and Monohammer.
To be honest, we haven't had things go really dark in a while. Well, I mean, we had the we had the vasectomy chat not too long ago. 40k Monopoly already exists. Played it with the family. I know it does. You can actually buy it. Yeah, it's a thing.
So what's...
I've skinned Monopoly. It's 40k. Yeah.
Is it the worlds then? Instead of
Talk.
street
That's
names?
horrendous. At least more cross-play there, and I want more corn boys working together. I think Disciples of the Red Angels allows you to do it. If we bring it back to 40k just for a minute, because this chap is talking 40k, and he's a grey name, so we want to entice him in.
Oh, okay.
Right. Ooh, come and join us, right?
okay.
I think Disciples of the Red Angel allows you to take Corn Demons in with them as well. If you take World Eaters as a Legion trait, you can take a patrol of Corn Demons. You will need both books, but there you go. Ozzy said I haven't got much to work with. Necromundopoly.
Warpoly. No.
What was that?
It's meant to be Orc Monopoly. It's because Mandy's put Whoppily. I'm going to find this 40k
Even Joe
Monopoly.
wouldn't be mad about that kind of orc-war.
Joe would giggle at that.
I don't know. He gets
40.
mad when people actually war.
Okay, Monopoly. He hates it, doesn't he?
He hates it. Joe hates it, yeah. In that particular regards, Joe is wrong.
Oh, it's only 30 quid.
Really?
Ooh.
I'm only grey because I forgot to sign up. One sec. No, I was joking. Now I feel like I've bullied you into it. I was joking. Don't worry about it. It's
you
fine.
bully.
I'm only winding you up. Like, I just like to do this. Ooh. It's definitely not at all creepy.
Here's what you
Oh,
could
then you
have
did
won.
it. No, I feel bad. Thank you. Achilles Nick? Is that it? Achilles Nick? Achilles Nick. There we go. We're done. Luce's piss, says Carl of Hodgie. Shouldn't we all be on a Friday night?
Oh, the little, you can be the dog, the car in Monopoly. The dog, the car,
What were you
the
always?
hat.
Which one? Which piece were you?
I think I was the hat.
I always wanted to be.
I think.
Why am I not surprised?
Why does that not surprise you?
I don't know if I've ever known anyone play Monopoly who goes, I fancy a bit of fucking top hat.
Oh, I liked it because it felt heavy and, it couldn't get knocked off or...
I
I don't know why, I just liked the hat.
I don't know anyone who thinks,
Do you know what,
I'm
babe?
gonna be a fucking top hat. That's what I'm gonna be.
I think in the part of the room you're sitting in with all the toy soldiers, I don't think you have any room to laugh at me for liking what I like with Monopoly.
Top hat! Talks him into a membership. Butchers his
Anyway.
name. That's what happened. Talk right there.
You can be... There's things you can be that are
That's
40k things. There's a helmet here, so I'd probably be the helmet. And there's something that looks like a Dalek-ish.
You're killing me.
And then there's some kind of like...
There's one thing you'd be. It's a helmet.
Snake. Thank you. There's some kind of snake. There looks like a sad snowflake over here. And then a sword and a stone-ish. And then some kind of pirate hook that fell off.
Oh, that's worth a like, isn't it? That's worth a like.
We should get this. It looks fun.
Yeah, but it's £30.
We'll just save your pennies then.
Maybe. Well, fancy. I was always the battleship. I was always the car or the battleship. That's my two picks. My two go-to.
Yeah, Tony, you go. I'll follow you. How dare you trash
Chris just
the
says,
top
you know
hat?
why Luce likes the top hat? You can put things in the top hat. How dare you trash the top hat? How do I cancel my membership? Oh, amazing. Luce is a helmet. That's
Yeah,
quote of the night
I know,
now.
Carl.
New quote of the night. Luce is a helmet.
I'm a helmet.
Iniquity says, Luce is such amazing entertainment. I honestly, chat.
I know. He gets me for free and he doesn't even appreciate
I
it.
mean, let's not fucking lie.
Yes, you do.
It is not
I am
free.
a hoot.
It is not free.
But is it a hoot?
Nothing about this relationship is free. I'm not saying it's not a hoot,
It's a hoot.
but it's definitely not fucking free. A wiggling Jerry helmet. Let's be fair. Someone from Coventry wants to be posh sometimes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Should have been a squig instead of the little dog. I used to always be the car or the battleship. That's what I was.
I've just opened Umbra's Bob Ross link. I know who Bob Ross was. I remember him.
Oh. So you lied earlier is what we're saying.
Who was the other guy that used to paint as well? Was it Oh.
Jill says, I didn't realise the theme Monopoly have different pieces. Wonder if the Manchester one has a gammy foot pigeon instead of the dog. That's amazing. Monopoly Valrak edition, where you win if you find the lion and currency. He's probably made 600 videos at me about the lion coming back, hasn't he? To be fair. If she's the helmet, what's Liam?
The top hat puts you above the peasants. Ignore his non-fashionable face loose.
I swear, right, and I'm gonna.
Face.
I feel like this is something we should lean into because Mandy is a prolific super chatter. But I feel like what she actually pays,
Monopoly Fund.
what she actually does is thank you, Carl, is she turns up on the channel just to defend you and bully me.
Mhm.
Mandy's one of those internet buddies we were talking about earlier.
Do you remember Neil Buchanan? Art Attack.
That fucking program was so shit. Yes, I do.
Lived for the end art bit that he'd do it on the floor. I would sit through the whole stupid thing just to get to the last 10 seconds where he did this great big art thing out of things like rice or flour.
Pubes.
And he'd just make this huge picture. I lived for the end bit.
I'm off to bed. Sorry, I'm not saying straight good night, says Kai. Kai, you're a legend. I love you, dearly. Thank you for hanging out with us. You go get some rest and hopefully you don't feel too terrible in the morning. You legend. You legend. Tony Hart, I bet you mean, Luz.
What?
Tony, who was Tony Hart? Tony Hart did something else as well, didn't he? What did Tony Hart do?
Hang on, Googling.
Was it Neil Buchanan who had the stupid, like, fucking hand puppet thing? Was that the one?
The hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible.
The hands in the gloves.
Joe,
I'm pretty sure that was him.
Joe says, this is not a surprise. Joe says, bloody loved Art Attack.
Is that Jojo?
Yeah, that's Joe. That's actual Joe. Yeah, that's why he's in blue.
Oh, hello, Joe.
If I was drinking a shot every time Varric says the lion, I would have died of alcohol poisoning. Yeah, but people still pay him, Christos. That's the problem.
Tony Hart.
Did Heartbeat?
No, I don't remember Tony
What was
Hart.
Heartbeat?
Heartbeat.
No, that wasn't.
Why do you miss when my baby kisses me? Do.
Well, that's us getting a copyright strike, isn't it?
Oh, did I sing too much?
No, it was just so accurate. That's the problem.
Oh.
Heart Attack. What was Heart Attack? I don't. Neil Buchanan was also Smarty Arty from Zap. What the fuck is this that we're talking? What are we talking about
Have
now?
you not- do you
Tony
not
Hart
know
was
Zap?
Morph. That's the one. Tony Hart was Morph.
Oh, the Play-Doh.
The Play-Doh men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James loved that,
He
didn't he?
did for a while, yeah.
When he was about 2.
Yeah.
Zap.
The conspiracy is Banksy is Neil Buchanan. I would love that to
Yeah.
be true.
I heard that.
I'd love that to be true. That'd be amazing.
Oh, please. Do you think we'll ever find out who's... That's it. Monopoly with Banksy and the Stig. They both have to turn up.
Didn't we learn who the Stig was?
One of them.
I thought we learned who the Stig was eventually. I have a signed photograph from the Sig.
You do.
Yeah. I have no idea if it's real.
Let's say it is. It's something nice to look at when you're on
Yeah.
the toilet. Let's just say
I had an
real.
old man's nap and only just woke up. Please tell me I have not missed the loose fact. You haven't. You've missed a lot, Rich. So
There's been a few facts.
first fact is that loose is a helmet, right? Read into that what you will. Liam, I love the topic of this chat. Came home from my department and the hobby got my brain straight, and now I'm trying to have my co let me go and learn to paint day with all my spare CSM models. It's so good, right? It's so good that sometimes we can just come home and disappear. One thing I've achieved this week after having a shitty week is I have a table covered in demons that I built this week. Had a shitty week, just sat here building demons, and it was very cathartic, very enjoyable. One of the things I will say, I absolutely fucking adore this model. Fate Weaver is super cool. I like that. And the other thing I'll say, this is when you know I've had a bad week, because I actually started doing some painting on Be'lakor. I actually started to paint him. Look, that chest, that's not the light. I've painted that grey on. I actually started to paint Be'lakor. That's when you know I've had a shit time, because I actually do some painting. Right?
Oh, I've just learnt a cool fact about Zap. The show was designed with deaf children in mind, and so the style of the show is predominantly visual, with the sound only providing music and effects. The audience in the handyman segments would often also sign clapping instead of actually clapping.
Dick was Schumacher, was it?
Liam, we have Monopoly Warhammer 40k German edition here in Hamburg. I think you haven't played Monopoly until you play German edition.
Well, and clearly I need everything in German, Chris Joss, is what Games Workshop are telling me, because they sent me German World Eaters Codex. So, I mean, clearly I'm fluent now. Blut für den Blutengart.
What sentence did me and James do? We did.
You asked me when what my birthday was.
Mein Geburtstag ist am 27. Januar, I think. That sounds so Britishly German.
I mean, it's right, though. It's right.
I've forgotten to say when is your birthday. So when is... Oh, I've already forgotten it. Bloody hell.
Yeah, because you asked me in German and James was shocked when I replied.
I know. I was like, see, I told you he knows it.
I inspired you to build demons. Cute, says Demonic Dave. You did, man. You did. I am all over the demons right now. On my desk currently is 9 flamers, 6 screamers, 10 demonettes, 10 pink horrors, 10 blue horrors, 10 brimstone horrors, a changeling, Be'lakor, and the Fate Weaver. I also have another 10 demonettes to make, and I've got 6 nurglings on the way, and the Mask of Slanesh, and I've also got a Keeper of... Like, it's all your fault, Dave. I'm going to actually blame you. I mean, it's not your fault, but I'm going to blame you anyway, right? Van Hastu Geburtstag, says Stephen. That's what he says.
That's it.
Van Hastu Geburtstag.
So I said, Van Hastu Bruders Geburtstag. I think there needs to be ist in there somewhere. Van Hastu ist... What's your in German? Is it... Oh! My brain is hurting. Your...
I used to love Pob. What the fuck's Pob? Got banned from watching it as I kept spitting on the TV like he did. What the fuck is Pob? I've never heard that one.
This orc army is gonna be nuts. Love flash kits.
Orcs is definitely a U army, Will. 100%. 100%. Who remembers Centurions? I think G-Dub gets its Primaris ideas from them. So I hated Centurions, Dave, so much. Such derpy looking fucking models. Unbelievable. Enquity, how long before you pass those models to Joe to be painted? No, I don't think I will with these ones. I hate it a little bit, but I've developed a dry brushing paint scheme that I'm using just so I can get them done. So I've got my own little army painted. Because let's be honest, Joe has got loads to do. Loads to do.
Good question here. Hang on.
Go on.
Which original Pokemon would transition best into Chaos Demons and under which god? So the original Pokemon. There's Pikachu.
I mean, there's 151 loose.
Do you remember the rat?
No. If we're going to be here listing all the 151 that you remember, we're going to be here for a fucking long time. Let's be honest. You need like a coughing for Nurgle, I think. I don't. It's a hard question. I don't remember.
No, because isn't coughing a rock one?
No, it's a psychic toxic type.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That's right. In a Pokemon nerd coming out. Come at me.
You multilingual people are amazing. I've been married to a Mexican for almost 11 years and my Spanish is pretty much non-existent.
It's all right. See, you say you multilingual people are amazing, but actually, Mandy, we're British. And what that normally means is we go to a foreign country somewhere that doesn't speak natively English and we point at something and we shout a little bit louder than we normally would.
Not really
and
good enough.
It's just a known fact in Britain that if you talk a little bit louder and point when you're abroad, they just suddenly understand you. It just instantly translates.
Or they're just getting you the thing you're pointing at because they want you out of their shop because you're shouting.
No. They definitely understand when you shout a bit more. Pickle Nick, you're a hero. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us. You absolute legend. Lickitung Slanesh Defo. Yeah, 100%. It's like asking which My Little Pony would make a good hero. When Pokemon came out, it passed me by. I was too busy drinking. I wasn't old enough at that point to drink when Pokemon first came out as a card trading game. I won't lie to you, as a child, I fell for it hard. But then, you know, once a geek, always a geek. So, hey, ask for a pint and a dodgy accent, exactly. Just my membership ran out. That's fine, man. It happens, it's fine. I'll allow it. I'll allow it this once. You are, however, on 31 team in total, with 29 minutes remaining. If every person gives one for the next minute. Rimney! He just comes in with 5 though, because, you know, he's big dick. How's Barry?
Yeah,
how's your mate Barry?
Yeah, we should ask Rimney how Barry is. Such a dick.
Oh, Rimney, I forgot to do the thing with the box and stuff. I'll have to Liam and Joe show that on Tuesday. You'll need to remind me. I keep forgetting. It's hidden behind me.
Okay.
I can't say what it is because Joe's, for the once in his life, actually tuning into the stream.
No, don't say it then.
No. I completely forgot. Rimney, you need to tell me. Please remind me. I will just forget. I have too much on all the time. It's horrible, really, honestly. But thank you for gifting 5, you legend. That puts us on 36.
This is another thing that she in the kitchen listened to as well. I was chatting to James about the Pokemon theme tune.
Thanks for hanging out. Go on.
And then all of a sudden, she started showing up YouTube videos of some woman who can play the Pokemon theme tune on an electric violin. I have never searched it, and yet it's there. So I can't even talk about the Pokemon theme tune now.
But I don't know what's the problem.
Because I don't care, and now it's on the Alexa, and now I care because I want to watch it.
But you don't have to let her play it.
Yes, I do, because the marketing is quite excellent, and then I go, oh, look at that. I want to watch it now.
To be clear,
it's exhausting.
So to be clear, your problem isn't an invasion of privacy. Your problem is, in fact, that targeted ads are too accurate.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
And I can't think for myself anymore.
Right, you don't need to.
I'm just turning into a excitable blob. I can't think for myself anymore.
That's a trap. That's a trap. I'm not saying anything. That's a trap. Good Nacht, Alzisman bis Sonntag. Good night, everyone. See you Sunday? Until Sunday?
We haven't done the big words yet.
Zeus and Men, I'm not sure on. Luce, did the kids look up the Pokemon theme tune? They might have done, actually.
No,
Alexa's Witch.
All they know to do is ask for their favourite songs. It would never have occurred to them. I was the one that brought up the Pokemon theme tune.
Pairing for Beach Header up. I've got League's Army the first thing in the morning. Mega happy about that. I've got Necrons with double Catan, James. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Mysterious Cuties of Gold. Usli's Defenders of the Earth. I know what you're saying. I don't know what that... I don't know. Don't do it. Don't do what? Votan, what are you taking, James? You taking Tau to Beachhead? So I'm off to a right team. Right. I'm off to a major tomorrow. This is how I like to play 40k because I like to live life on the edge. Right, I like to be edgy. I'm off to a major tomorrow, which is supposed to be a 6-game tournament. But actually, Beachhead do something. Brawl Events, who are running Beachhead, do something that I'm super behind, actually. I really like it. It's really good. Where you turn up and play your first game. So there's 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday. 6 game total because it's a major, right? Now, you could have, should you have wanted to, turned up today and played your first game. And I actually wish I'd planned to do that. Thankfully, because we spent most of the morning stroke afternoon in the hospital getting the little one's finger x-rayed, I'm glad I didn't plan to go and play my first game because I probably wouldn't have made it in time. However, normally I would have probably gone and played the first game and just came back because it's actually only half an hour away for us from here. I didn't realise. If you play the first game tonight, you then don't have to play the first game tomorrow, which means you get a lion on the Saturday, which is quite tasty. But there's 3 games tomorrow, which is like a normal GT, and then there's 3 games on Sunday. So I'm going to be turning up in the morning and playing a game. However, Beachhead's rules, now this is my first major in a long time, Beachhead's rules are simply, if you want to drop at any time, even if it's just for 1 round, you can. You go and tell the TO, you drop for a single round, and then you can go back in later. So I can play 2 games tomorrow, be super tired, not be feeling it, ditch game 3, and then come back in game 4 on Sunday morning and carry on playing. That's really nice to have that freedom. That's really, really good. Anyway, I'm going to go play in a major, and I'm taking Chaos Demons because I've borrowed Krabby's army. You guys may have seen Crab in the channel before. Legend, he's the one who gifted us George the Warhound Titan. So he's lent me his army, which is a pretty competitive army. And
Where is George?
George the Titan,
Yeah.
He's in Joe's house in the repair workshop.
Oh, of course he is, yeah.
Yeah, the actual George the Little Crab that he also gave us is in the studio. We put him on the table sometimes.
Is he a crab?
He's an actual little orange crab we've got, yeah. Painted up. Crabby painted himself up as a crab. So what I'm taking is Krabby's Demons army, which I have played once.
If you could miniature yourself like Krabby did, so he's the orange crab on the table. If you could miniature yourself, what would be the thing you miniature for the table?
I don't know if there's a miniature out there with as many muscles on it.
Ah, Bron would have to be a tooth.
Or a sloth.
What would Paddy be?
Or a really toothy sloth. Paddy would just be an officer, wouldn't he? It's just
What would Chris be?
an ape.
Eddie?
I feel like Chris would be a Jakero weaponsmith.
We've got Eddie.
We got Where's Eddie? Yeah.
Yeah, where's Eddie? We've got
Yeah.
Eddie.
Yeah. He has been on. Where's Eddie has been on the table every single time since we turned to 4K. Every time since he's been to 4K, he's
You're
on the table.
joking.
Every time since we turned to
Right.
4K, he's on the table somewhere. And normally someone in chat goes, "Is he on the ruin that's just in the middle?" Like, oh, yep, they found him.
Okay, hang on then. Let me.
And because it's in 4K, you can actually find it. Demonic Dave, what's your list? The list is very simple. Demonic Dave, right? Very simple. It's Krabby's list. I've just stolen it, right? But I know how to play it, roughly. And it works. And if it works, it really works. My only issue tomorrow is going to be Catan with wounds caps, but I can play around it. So,
Is there a prize for when someone finds him?
not yet, no. No, I give enough away, Luce. I'm
Well,
living poor all the time.
You've got to make it worth our while, babe. Otherwise, we'll stop looking.
So Arcs of Open Detachment is what we have, Demonic Dave. We have 4 HQs plus a Corn Herald as a no slot, right? So we have in the list Be'lakor, who is the Warlord. We have Scarbrand. We have Skull Taker, who's in a free slot. We have a Flux Master, so a Tzeentch Herald on disc. And then we have a Transweaver, which is a Slaanesh Herald on foot. Okay? That's our 5 HQ choices. We have 5 troop choices. 3 units of 10 Demonettes with icons and instruments, and 2 units of 3 Nurglings. We then have multiple elites choices, 4 to be specific. We have 1 Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch, 2 units of 6 Flamers of Tzeentch, and 1 unit of 4 Flamers of Tzeentch. And that's it. That's the army. It's not a lot of models. Well, it's a reasonable amount of models, but it sings. Trust me, it works. It does work. Because Flamers are still terrifying, and with Be'lakor giving them reroll all hits. So we're looking at taking, right, Warp Ritual, I can't remember the name of the Tzeentch secondaries now, the demon secondaries. Reality, not reality, hang on, I'm going to find the secondaries now. Where's Warhapedia? I'm going to bore you all with secondaries. Because
Did the person find it on top down or?
I don't know. It's normally more obvious on top down. To be honest with you, it's normally easy to find him on top down if he's there.
Where's top down?
Which one are you looking at?
Yesterday's.
Yesterday's. Oh, how far through are you?
15 minutes.
Okay, he's still there. Then I got annoyed with him halfway through and took him off the table yesterday. Where is Chaos Demons?
So he's in front of you then.
So we're using Reality Rebels, Despoilers of Reality, and Warp Ritual. Dave, that's my secondaries. There you go. There you go. Left your animal in the gallery. Left you your animal in the gallery. I don't know if I want to look, Mandy. You're just going to bully me again, aren't you? Where's the stream gallery? Stream gallery.
Is he inside a ruin?
That's not the gallery. Stream clips. Liam and Joe show. Is he inside a ruin?
Yeah.
He's on top of one, I think.
He's on top of a ruin. Oh, I can't see him.
I can't find it, Mandy. I don't know where. Gallery. Oh, it's in the actual gallery. Right, okay, I found it. I found it, Mandy. I found it. That's not very nice, is it? It's not very nice at all. He was on the crates. Oops, says Rimney. He's on the crates in the centre of the board.
He's on the crates? Is he?
Yeah, well, he was. I don't know how quickly I got rid of him. The flame of spam you meta chaser. Yeah, but they're good. Look, I only own 12 for me. Not the 16 that I'm taking from Krabby. I only own 12 at the moment. Because I still think they're going to wrap in points, if I'm honest. It's a cute one, a capybara carrying a melter bomb. I want to play with 8th Ed Fantasy, collecting, not yet building, a Vampire Counts army. I miss 8th Ed Fantasy. I miss it. I really do.
No, I don't think he is. I'm 12 minutes in, and he's not on the crate.
Man. Now I'm going to have to go and find him, aren't I?
I can't find him.
Right. Let me find him, because I knocked him off last night, so I know he was there. I'm pretty sure he was there. Live content. World Eaters. New Codex. Arcs of All Omen. Click the video. I'm going to have to mute it really quickly. Or already muted, okay. You're how many minutes in?
12, and I can't find him.
Boop. I mean, I've just zoomed in and I can see him instantly.
I can't zoom.
I've just gone full screen.
I can't.
Come and look.
No.
He's there in the middle.
Where? Move your mouse.
I am moving my mouse. He's right here. You can see him. You can see the red and white top.
That is tiny.
Like Eddie. Yes, correct.
That is tiny.
Square bases.
Fuck off, Dave.
That is too small. That's not a fair game.
That's chat. See him. It's in 4K. They put it up on a big screen. They go and find him. Right. He got moved and fell in a gap on the central crates. He did, yeah. Waiting for Old World, as I never actually played it. You never played Old Fantasy? It was incredible. It was incredible, man. Old Fantasy was. I loved it. What I really liked about it as well was it was a wildly different game to 40k back then. I feel like there's positives and negatives to the current way it works, right? So the current way it works compared to 40k, it's quite similar in the way. I mean, there's some nuances that are different, obviously. So like there is just a flat wound roll no matter what you're going up against, whereas 40k currently you still have to work it out. But on the whole, there is lots of similarities now, and I actually think personally, I could see the benefit to it, but I actually think it's worse in my own personal opinion. I really liked it when Fantasy was a wild, different game, and you had rank and file, and you had to wheel rank and file around, and I really, really loved that. I was a big fan. I've tried to get into Sigmar loads over the course of the last few years because it's another thing that people might be tempted by to come and join the channel and become a member, etc. And you know, come and hang out with us and what have you, because they might not come for 40k, but they might come if we have Sigmar. And I want to do it because the model range is beautiful, but I just can't really get into it because I feel like when I start playing Sigmar, I'm like, well, I might as well just play 40k at this point, near enough, right? So I really miss Fantasy, and I'm mildly concerned about Old World, because I feel like, especially because I think they've mentioned, haven't they? I think they've stated that Old World is going to be a Forge World game system, and it worries me that we're then therefore going to get fleeced on the game and the models. I really, 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 really want them to do it well, because I've tried Idoneth, Deepkin, and Lumineth Realm models because I miss having High Elves. I want my High Elves back. I loved High Elves. I didn't even care about the rules. I just loved the aesthetic. The aesthetic was the best. The early editions were amazing. I started in Warhammer Fantasy about 3rd edition and still play it to this day. Very different to 40k. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Talk about the movement phase being the most important. This is most true in Fantasy. I loved it. I really loved it. Honestly, I own so many AOS models because they're gorgeous, but I just can't stand the rules, so I've never played it. Really? That's interesting. I started off with AOS, but lost the love of the last update. Yeah, so Byron, who owns Element, is an AOS nut, and he says that he's not really loving it right now, which is interesting. Ordered myself a Firstborn Space Wolf army today as a birthday present. You deserve it, Tim. You legend. That is an incredible gift to give yourself. FYI, we're on 38 members in 15 minutes. My missus loved the Wood Elves. I loved Wood Elves as well, Talk. That's a good choice. High Elf has High Elf and Dwarfs, says Carl. I loved High Elves. I had 2 armies in old fantasy. I'm going to get nostalgic now. I had High Elves and I had Empire. I fucking loved fantasy. It was so good. Cannonballs and rank and file, and it was brilliant. I mean, I think back then, if I'm honest, 40k was still my main game. So I played 40k before I played fantasy. And then a friend of mine got me into fantasy. 40k was still my main game, but I enjoyed playing fantasy.
Nothing wrong with FW armies laughs in Krieg.
Yeah, well, maybe. Dwarfs and Tomb Kings. I liked Tomb Kings actually quite a lot. Dark Elves, Chaos, Empire, and Dwarfs. I love Dwarfs and Bretonians. I was so sad, Talk, when they switched from Old World to AOS and Bretonians just flat didn't exist anymore. That honestly, that made me so sad. Bretonians were incredible. I feel like nowadays, with my love for cavalry, I feel like nowadays I'd be all over a Bretonian army. Members Fantasy Game, sure, Joe collects. He probably would, actually, to be fair. I still need to buy a Knight Astreus from Forge World. So it is that what you said, Astreus? Asturias?
Good luck at Beachhead. Sounds like your personal collection needs more flamers, though.
I mean, I can buy more flamers from Games Workshop. I'm going to have 12, and I feel like 2 squads of 6 is plenty, Dave. I could take more, but I actually feel like I want to take Screamers instead, because Screamers for Engage is or Behind Enemy Lines is just exceptional. Loved Empire, still have the artillery. Yeah, I had a steam tank. Steam tanks were incredible. Also, still got some old lizard men, 5th and Bretonians from 6th, and a load of Dogs of War. Oh, I'm getting all nostalgic now.
On the World Eaters versus Leagues of Votan
on Tuesday, yeah.
On Tuesday, did you put Where's Eddie by the red tanks?
Hang on.
Because I think I've found him. Or
is that you done now? Is that you for the next week? Just playing Where's Eddie on every stream we've done in 4K?
I've forgotten how small the model is. For some reason, I thought he would be much bigger, but now.
Let's go back to the start.
Do you have rules for where you put him? Like, does he have to be? Do you check top down to see how visible he is?
I don't check at all. I forget about him. It's Joe that does it. Which one are you saying?
World Eaters versus Leagues of Votan.
Yeah, where are you saying he is?
So, your are they your tanks or Brom's?
Brom's tanks.
So is it a Titan or something in between? Is he right by the Titan?
What Titan?
Oh, I don't know what it is. Like the weird robot thing in between the 2 tanks. Right there, the robot thing. There's your tape measure. Oh, hang on, I'm on.
What minute are you on?
31:26.
So I'm on 33, so it can't be that different.
Well, maybe you've moved them then. Is he by
31:16? I've got you on top down now.
Is he by the pipes that are in between those 2 red tanks?
Red tanks?
Yeah, they're red.
Oh, they're my tanks.
Okay. Is he there? Is that him there, right by the pipes?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, I don't remember he was on that one.
Okay.
Did Joe put him on the table on that one? Or are you looking for nothing? Is that actually a possibility? He almost always puts him on. Did we have a Where's Eddie on Tuesday, chat? I don't remember.
Can there be a prize for the person who finds him?
Are you funding it?
If they want lovely anecdotes, then
Yeah, exactly.
maybe that could be the prize.
How good does that top down look, eh? It's exceptional, isn't it?
Or the winner gets a cup of tea with me, and I'm just going to listen to how their day's been for a cup of tea's worth.
I feel
how
like
many
people
of us get people that listen to our day?
I feel like some people would actually be okay with that. Lord of the Rings was my first Warhammer love, then Fantasy Orcs. See, this is interesting. I'm a Lord of the Rings nut, as Lucy would attest to, and I didn't find Lord of the Rings through Games Workshop. I genuinely found 40k first. I genuinely found 40k first forever. Did Joe forget that one time? Oh, Joe forgot him. So the reason why you can't find him is he actually forgot him on Tuesday.
Joe.
Fucking Joe.
Bloody
Slacking.
Joe.
Lucy's Christmas present sorted. Where's Wally book?
I used to love the Where's Wally books.
That's Where's Waldo to you Americans.
Yeah.
Why didn't Americans call it Wally?
Well, why did the British call it Wally? Is Where's Wally British or American?
But this is what I'm saying, right? Some things get slightly lost in translation to German or French or Spanish or whatever. I don't understand how it gets lost in translation from English to English. Why is it just called Where's Wally? Therapy session with Loose Prize, says Seedroots. Hey Seedroots, how you doing? That sounds like a great prize.
Let's do it. Cup of tea. And I'll just say, how's your day? And then for a cup of tea, you just get to be like, my day's been really good, or my day's been really shit. And I say, well, good for you. You found Where's Eddie, so it's looking up.
Yeah.
It's on the up, guys.
Yes. Joe's pretty good on Warzone, says Dave. He's not too bad. We did our first test Warzone stream today to some people in chat, actually. It's a different channel, so you wouldn't have seen it on this channel. If you're interested in the channel, let me know and I'll put it in the link. But it's the first time we've tested with me and Joe. So one of the problems with me and Joe content is he's got to come here, which is an hour and 20 minutes for him to come here, right? So it's actually quite impressive that he's already here 2 times a week. So in doing extra content, I don't want to bring him here any more than I already do on the Tuesdays and Thursdays because it's a lot of traveling, etc. Right? So we're launching a second channel now, which is about video gaming, which Joe and I also play together, where we'll continue to be able to chat to you people, but it's video games instead of 40k. So there you go. Look at that.
It's Where's Walter in German.
It's Where's. See, but I get that. I get the translation issue from language to language, but it's the same language in America. Although I do remember being in America and saying, "What language do you people speak?" And they went American, and I started laughing. Like, it's English. You speak English.
They speak American.
They don't speak American. They speak English.
Yes, because not every word
is
the same.
They badly speak English.
They speak American.
Right? I don't know how Luce explained how I've got extra PTSD from the kids by how I hold my brew.
Uh-huh. And to be fair, I only spotted that because one of my friends is a former psychologist for SEN PTSD parents.
Wouldn't let me watch, says Garsty.
That's the only reason I know
that. Just change up in the crawl space under the house. We don't have crawl space under our houses here. It's the same language, lol, says Mandy. Well,
It's
I know.
not.
You murder it.
It's not. It's American.
It's
They
not
have
American.
different
It's
words for
English.
Stuff.
It's English. That's how I can understand it. They just do it badly. It's murdered English is what it's called. And they've removed the word murder and just called it American.
Have you been on the high street lately? We're murdering English.
I'm aware.
So it is not the Queen's
This
English.
is why I continuously correct Joe when he says lieutenant and it's lieutenant.
Well, it's spelt lieutenant.
It doesn't matter how it's spelled. It's how it's pronounced. You have to pronounce correctly. Games Workshop. So Joe has argued with me forever. Games Workshop then released a video on Tuesday about how to pronounce certain words.
Yeah.
And lieutenant was in there.
But was it spelt lieutenant?
It's spelt lieutenant, yes.
So it looks like lieutenant.
It's spelt lieutenant, yes.
Is there a L-E-F-T enant?
No, they spelt lieutenant correctly.
So are we saying it wrong?
No, we're saying it correctly.
So
Games Workshop said it was correct the way I said it.
What's the opposite to right?
What?
Left. And how do you spell that?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter.
No, it
Is it
doesn't.
spelled L-E-I-U-E-I-U?
That's irrelevant.
Nonsense that
That's
they
irrelevant.
spell.
Now the King's English says talk correct.
Very true.
Aluminum says Rimney. No, aluminium. You know, the reason why I know that we're saying it right is because we invented the words. So, I think American is called simple English, says Pickle Nick. Schedule is another weird one.
Schedule.
You guys ignore the C. Schedule? I say schedule, not schedule.
Schedule.
You
I
say schedule?
Schedule, yeah.
No, I actually probably said that one incorrectly, to be fair. but most spoken proper Queen's King's English is spoken in Inverness.
Do you say?
Not entirely sure that's true.
Do you say issues?
Issues?
Issues.
What was the one I said the other day that you got annoyed with?
That I went, ooh!
Proven.
Yeah, proven. It's proven.
No, you
What's
prove
this
something,
now?
but it's proven.
When you said it, I was like, he's having me on. And then you said it again, and I thought, oh my God, boys, I think he's actually talking like this now. Somebody has cloned Dad, and now he's saying things like issues and proven.
Issues and it's just correct English. It's not, you know. I rely on my voice.
You are forgetting where you're from by saying things like issues and proven.
I'm from the south coast of the UK.
Yeah, and they don't sound like you.
We do. We
I
speak
don't know
correctly.
who you sound like right
speak
now.
correctly around
You
here.
go on that
Yeah.
high street, you are the
Yeah,
odd one out.
I sound like a British person should sound. It's a fact.
Yeah, but you don't sound like a southerner.
I had to work a while to get rid of the Forest accent.
Forest.
Yeah, I had. Yeah. I'm from the New Forest. I had to get rid of the Forest accent. I couldn't keep talking like a Forest person, could I? No one likes the Forest accent. It makes you sound too common. Right, no one says proven. Yes, they do. A good chunk of the English language was nicked from the French. I mean, the English language, let's face it, the Bobbins, is entirely bastardized from multiple different languages, including French, German, fucking Latin a lot, right? It's not really actually our own language, so... my kids say garbage and it drives me mad. So our kids are picking up stuff like that because they're watching American YouTubers, essentially.
Yeah.
South coast of the UK is almost French. I can spit in here, France. Talk.
Get him a top hat and monocle loose. He's going posh.
He is going posh. Oh, that's like my new cookbook, isn't it?
Hey, if I get the top hat, does that mean you want to play with me?
No. Because I want to play with the top hat, not the person who's wearing it.
Oh, well, all right, there we go. That's Forest talk, says Rudy. Exactly, I could do it. I could go back to the roots. It's not a problem. We can do this.
Rimley's asked, do you call your kids nippers?
Nipper, yeah, I can do sometimes.
Yep. And do you refer to your friend as mush?
I have, yes. That's a Southampton thing.
Yeah, right, mush.
Mush is 100% a Southampton thing. Yeah. And everyone's going, what the fuck's mush now?
No.
Is that what you say to Huskies?
Mush.
Queen's English, never mind the king. Tisk says Dutch. Well, yeah. British is proven, even though it's spelt proven.
Mm-hmm.
Dave says, sorry, Brummies. What have you said sorry, Brummies for? Who are you ripping? Never say LT in British Army. Zero Americanisms. Yeah, the French and Americans figured out mud and aluminium. Aluminium. Forest talk, roots, haha.
Americans do spell, though, as through. Oh, Americans do spell through as through, which makes more sense. We spell it like mad people.
We use nippers in Australia too. I love the Australians. The way they talk is beautiful.
So the Americans have changed the spelling of through.
I don't know. Why do Americans pronounce Craig as Craig but egg as egg? I don't know, Laura.
What?
Do they say egg? Do they? The closest thing to Old English is spoken by people from Wolverhampton. That's not true. I don't believe that for a minute.
I get confused at when Americans say two names, Carrie and Kerry. It sounds like the same name. I'm always confused. And what if you have two girlfriends, Carrie and Kerry? Do they know which one you're talking to? Because Carrie and Kerry sound very, very similar.
What are your thoughts on Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Stormbringer Mag? Who is playing who next week? And good luck for tournament, Liam.
I had no idea that Mag was coming, so I have to look into that. Who's playing who next week? It's me versus either Brom or Joe on Tuesday with the other one on the deck. And then Brom's out on Thursday, and I think Paddy's back in. We haven't decided yet, although I feel like I want to keep running World Eaters at this point because I've played 3 games with them and scored 293 points after 300. So we're on a roll right now, and I feel like we should do 8 battle reports with World Eaters, right? One funny thing to pronunciation. Why is that a funny thing to pronounce? To annoy me, Laura, it's annoyed me since original Baywatch when I was a kid and I found out the Craig pronunciation. I hate my name enough as it is. I've seen what you're laughing at. Honest, old company is a pre-Celtic language. I mean, it's definitely a language. We fixed the language for you. It's spelt colour. It's not spelt color. It's spelt colour. Spell it correctly, Sea Treats. Right? Everything with our language is your fault, says Michael Cody. Listen, right? You are colonial cousins, the people who we at one point decided to give some freedom to, right?
Carl. They always used to call me Kyle. Well, to be fair, it's Coral.
Coral.
I have to stand up for Liam here. A Coventry lass who was brought up to communicate in grunts and whistles shouldn't disparage the rest of the UK.
He's correct.
I'm very sorry.
It was the local paper, so it must be true. Unfortunately, I live there and have to endure it, says Tim. What I'm saying to you colonial people, you know, we gave you some freedom and you took it too far to start with, right? So, you know, obviously we probably made a mistake by giving you too much freedom over there in the Americas, right? But in seriousness, if you listen to the way that I pronounce most things, you'll get somewhere close to right. You know, it's easy, really. Listen to me, copy it. Fanny is the front bum, not the back bum, says Well, that's another thing they get wrong in America, isn't it? I teach loads of kids with full-on American accents because they've grown up watching TV and films from there. They don't think they speak any different to the rest of the class, though. So, I mean, this is, I think there's a fair few, I think it's fair to say there's a fair few words at the moment that Ben pronounces. He's our youngest.
Yeah.
Which has an American twang, and I have to sit here and correct him.
So I'm not sure that's massively YouTubed because he doesn't actually watch all that YouTube. I think that's an autism thing because it's nicer.
It's
sounding.
easier to round the word off, yes.
Yeah, whereas the British accent is quite harsh. So any word that towards the end of the word ends in an R, he'll go R. So it works.
Siege Roots, right, now I'm going to die on this fucking hill, right? It's month, day, year, by the way, not day, month, year, he says, because he's an Americanist. You guys took too long to relay dates, and that's why you lost the war. First of all, we didn't lose the war.
Oh, them's fighting words, that is.
That's fucking incorrect to start with. Okay. Secondly, think about your logic, right? What? So day, month, year, the British logic. The smallest thing, followed by the medium thing, followed by the big thing. It goes in size order. There's days in months and months in years. It goes in order. You go medium thing, smallest thing, largest thing. No order. No order. It's anarchy. You don't have 31 months in a day, do you? You fucking absolute heretic. You have 30 days in a month, right? So you have to go smallest thing, number of days, medium thing, number of months, largest thing, number of years. You absolute savage. None of this month, day, year nonsense. I don't understand. I'm here. You can start the stream now. I mean, we literally should have finished 2 minutes ago, John. You lot needed him as well. You're only on 38 fucking members tonight, you childish bastards. It's funny how you southern lot use die on that hill. It is a Battle of Hastings reference. It is a Battle of Hastings reference, yes. Dolthar Sodjath. I hope I haven't murdered that. Welcome to the channel as a Jarl. I'll start that Jarl's giveaway for this month soon. What a hero. Thank you so much for joining us.
I made the classic mistake that lots of people make. I said, oh, I'd like to go to Hastings to see where the Battle of Hastings was. Wasn't in Hastings. It was in battle. And I live in this country.
Shortest to longest, not middle, beginning, end. Yeah, exactly, Siege. Sorry, you're wrong. And it's bloody the metric system, not the stupid imperial crap. Oh, man. I used to work on Apache attack helicopters. The problem with Apache attack helicopters that were made in America and then modified by the British is that I had to use imperial and metric on one aircraft.
Ooh.
We had we had toolkits that had millimeter sockets and inch sockets as well. It was fucking problems, that was. Oh, so John, who is already one of the biggest dicks in chat anyway, has now become literally the biggest dick in chat.
Oh, okay.
Coming at Acer tier, Luce.
Oh, dear.
So Acer tier, John, now you've upgraded yourself to Acer tier, you get to come and join us in the Only Thanes WhatsApp chat. Come and hang out with us in the WhatsApp chat, where I put loads of pictures of my feet in there. It's a nice place to hang out, right? You get a free event ticket if you wanted to come to the UK for an event from America, you know. And Joe will give you a reach around. So there you go. That's what you get. If you say month first, then that leaves about 30 possible days. But date first, that only leaves 12 possible options. So day, month, year. It's not any more logical, but narrows the options quick. Exactly. Yes, and just give... Fucking Jesus. Ooh. Gifting them one at a time, yes. And you're just keeping me on my toes, aren't you? 3, 4, 5. That is a total of 40 in a night. Yes, and you did well. Should have just used a hammer. Don't think I will enter this month's Yarv's giveaway. Probably have more chance of winning if I don't enter this. Right, chat. Right. If 0 degrees Celsius equals 32 Fahrenheit, then why is 0 degrees Celsius plus 0 degrees Celsius 64 Fahrenheit wrong?
What?
Doom Bunny. I fucking love that logic, by the way. And also, when we talk about Celsius and Fahrenheit, why do you stupid freedom lunatics work in Fahrenheit anyway? So Celsius just makes sense. Freezing is 0. So if it's below freezing, it goes into negative numbers.
Right.
But with Americans, freezing is 32.
Yeah. I've got family in America, and sometimes when they talk about the weather, I'm like, oh, that sounds like a nice day. And they go, no, it's freezing. And then I have to get my phone out, convert it, and then, oh, yeah, that does sound cold. Like, why is this very quick observation now turned into a 5-minute Google?
I also love the fact, right, we know that Americans are a big fan of their firearms.
Yeah.
And they are, everything's imperial, inches, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But they like a 9mm pistol.
Can't blame Yanks. Country was founded by those we and other Europeans didn't want, and not even our convicts as they went down under.
Liam losing all the American members tonight. No, I right, so here's a little known fact. Actually, it's probably more of a more publicly known fact nowadays. I'd probably move to America tomorrow.
Yeah.
Lose his face.
Yeah.
I'd probably move to the US tomorrow, if I'm honest.
There was one thing that I couldn't really make sense of that I've only ever heard of the Americans doing, because they have a gun safe.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it's in the kids' room or it's near the kids' room. So the alarmist in me is thinking, oh my God, get that as far away from the kids as you can. And then it was our friend who said, well, no, because if someone is in your house, the first thing you're going to do is go to your children's room.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that everything's in there. And that's when I thought, oh, actually.
I'd move to America in a heartbeat. Luce was actually slightly open to it the other day.
Slightly. There was like maybe one eyebrow twitched.
One eyebrow's better. I mean, that's literally 50%, Luce. You've only got 2 fucking eyebrows. Well, actually, it depends what time of the month it is. Sometimes you only got 1 eyebrow.
What?
Because it joins in the middle.
No, it doesn't. Why does the time of the month have any effect on my eyebrows?
No, it depends what time of the month it is. Because if you've done your plucking and your waxing and your shaping... Thanks, Rick. You saved me.
Country, but I can't defend our units of measurement. Lol, metric system makes much more sense.
It does. Also, team, I think I fixed the magical loose factoid voice. I played with my audio deck today because I had to get it ready for the Call of Duty stream test. I feel like I fixed it. You ready, Luce? Let's see if this works. I have no idea. Now, I think if I press this button and I keep talking, it should still sound normal. But now I've got that button on, and you do your fact now.
The world record for the most plastic bottle tops stacked into a tower in 1 minute is 43.
That seems like a really shit record.
Just in case you had a minute free tonight and you thought, I've got to wait for the kettle to boil or I've got to wait for the paint to dry. I've got 43 bottle tops here. I'm going to stack them and see if I can do it in a minute.
So what we're saying is if I stack 44 bottle tops in a minute,
you win.
I'll have the world record.
You win life, yeah.
It doesn't sound that hard. Can I use glue?
It doesn't say you can't.
I've got some quick setting plastic glue, right? Surely that would work. That would, In 1999, an NASA probe missed Mars because of problems translating between metric and imperial. I'm not. It sounds like they weren't trying very hard, says Captain Marines. That sounds like a supermarket microphone, yeah. Did it work? Did it all work? More egg facts, says Dan McPhee.
Oh, no.
Corley Hexing, welcome to the channel as a Hesea, you fucking legend for joining us. If you, Discord, come and join us in the Great Hall. Please come and hang out with us, you beautiful, beautiful human. It's amazing of you to join us. Won't get you your members-only content. But it does get you access to the Great Hall Discord server, which is enough for some people. If you do want all of our members-only content as well, you have to sign up at the Skald tier. And then you can upgrade from Skald to Jarl for just £4 more from Skald to Jarl and be in with a chance of winning a Combat Patrol box every single month. Giveaway every month, you could win a Combat Patrol box. You just have to enter the free giveaway, which you get access to by being a Jarl, right? And that you can win that wherever you are in the world. Someone from last month, someone in the US of A, won that particular Combat Patrol box. Element sent it to us. Lucy parceled it up and packaged it off to the US of A. Okay? So at some point now, there'll be a bald eagle dropping it on his doorstep. Fun fact, right? Bald eagles are the sign of America, Lucy. That's their bird, their national bird.
Yeah.
They nearly persecuted them to extinction.
Yeah. I know there was it Scottish farmers they were either petitioning it to the government or taking matters into their own hands because there's an eagle that nests up there. Is it the golden eagle?
Golden eagle, yep.
And
By the way, chat, if we're going to go geeky, I am a bird of prey nerd.
And the golden eagles were taking the baby lambs. So farmers were losing lots of money.
Gold eagles do take baby lambs, though.
Yeah, and small dogs.
They do. In fact, golden eagles are one of the most versatile birds of prey. This is going to change now to bird of prey stream. One of the most versatile birds of prey on the planet. There's scientific footage of them picking tortoises up. They fly up as high as they can with the tortoises in their hands. They fly over a rocky outcrop and they drop them. So when the shell hits the rock, it splits open like a walnut, and they eat the gooey inside.
Yeah.
It's the thing. That's the thing they do.
Yeah.
Osprey's a fishing bird.
I saw an oyster catcher today.
What's the membership count tonight? We're currently at 41, Dan.
That's my contribution to bird of prey.
An oyster catcher. Oyster catchers aren't birds of prey.
No, they're not, are they?
No.
That's not even a contribution then.
Fun fact: bald eagles are actually not bold.
And they get very upset and their feelings hurt.
Do you know what? So, what you can tell from a bald eagle and its white head?
Yeah.
It's a fish-eating eagle.
Oh. Why is it taking lambs then?
No, that was golden eagles.
Oh, okay.
Bald eagles are a fishing eagle. That's why they have white heads. Same as the African fishing eagle has a white head, neck, and a white chest. Most fishing eagles have white on them.
Why?
And the reason why they have white on them is when they fly over the water, that white breaks up the bird shape, and so fish are less suspicious about what's above them.
Oh, that's clever.
Very clever. Yeah, very clever. Anyway, It is now. Well, I wanted to actually finish on time tonight because I've got to get up early in the morning to go to Bournemouth and play some Warhams. So thank you so much, you beautiful humans, for hanging out with me tonight on this 40k After Dark stream. I could talk birds of prey for hours. I used to go hunting with hawks. I used to be sort of part-time falconer. Loved it. It's my favourite.
Dats is contributing. Fun fact: great tits don't have great tits.
Well, it depends if you're a human or a male bird. It depends on your perspective, Dats and Des, doesn't it? Okay. Right. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. You people are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful humans. There will be no Sunday show. And the reason why there'll be no Sunday show is because tomorrow night I'm in Bournemouth. I'm staying in Bournemouth with the Paddy for Beachhead. So Sunday night is going to be me and Lucy's computer sat in front of the TV night because I'm not going to get it tomorrow night, which is normally our night for sitting in front of the TV. I'm not depriving my beautiful wife of my company for an evening.
There's a bird question.
What's that then?
Why do seagulls have white heads when all they eat is chips?
So that humans can't see them coming. Obviously.
Seagulls are massive.
I've been to Cornwall where the seagulls are huge, and I've also seen the people that have probably got slightly less intelligence than a fish, and that's why. So our next stream our next stream, this is where it's going to start getting interesting. After my conversation with Joe today, we think our next stream will be Call of Duty on Monday to the other channel. We're not putting Gaming Channel on this particular channel because it will fucking smash my algorithm to bits. Okay? If you're reacted to the Gaming Squad role in Discord, you'll get a notification when we go live, and it's just me and Joe chatting shit and playing Call of Duty or Battlefield or other games terribly, right? So you can come and hang out with us, but we think our next stream will be Monday night, and there's a possibility Bron will join us too. Our next 40k stream, therefore, will be Tuesday. It's members only again, and World Eaters at 7:30 on Tuesday, probably, and against something, don't know what yet. And then Wednesday we get back to the 40k show. Thursday another live game of 40k. Friday back for another After Dark. That's our next week's itinerary. Dork Bus, come and join us as a member. Come on, let's get rid of all these grey names. Get rid of all these grey names. None of them. I want no more grey names anymore ever again. I'll go now. Give you a chance to set up your membership. Anything you want to add, Luce?
No.
I still think we can beat 34 bottle caps.
No, it's 43.
I still think we can beat 43 bottle caps.
Say, you're not sure you are if your target's 34. It's 43.
I think we can do 44 bottle caps.
All right, you go for it.
Yes. They didn't say what type of bottle caps either.
Nope. Nope. Any bottle caps.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.